Have you ever wondered why some people always win? They're not the smartest in the room. They're not the hardest working. They don't even play by the rules. They play by a completely different set of rules. In 1998, Robert Greene wrote a book so dangerous that it was banned in several prisons across America, because inmates were using it to manipulate guards. 48 Laws of Power. Not just a book. It is centuries of manipulation, strategy, warfare, and human psychology, compressed into 48 brutal truths. From Machiavelli to Napoleon, from Julius Caesar to modern corporate sharks, these laws are timeless. Today, I'm breaking down the 5 most powerful, most dangerous, and most relevant laws from this legendary book. Let's begin. Law number 1. Never outshine the master. This is the very first law in the book, and Greene placed it first for a reason. The rule is simple. Never make the person above you feel inferior. Never display your talents so openly that you overshadow those who have power over you. Because here's the psychological truth. Powerful people have fragile egos. And when you make them feel small, they don't applaud you, they destroy you. Real historical example. Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister of King Louis XIV of France. Fouquet was brilliant, wealthy, and ambitious. One day, he threw the most extravagant party in French history at his personal palace. A party so grand that it made the king's own residence look modest. He showed off his art collection, he displayed his wealth. He outshined the king. King Louis XIV had him arrested 3 weeks later. Nicolas Fouquet spent the rest of his life in prison, not for a crime, but for making the king feel small. The lesson: in any hierarchy, whether it's a king's court or a corporate office, let your master shine brighter than you. Make them feel superior, make them feel secure, because the moment they feel threatened by you, you become their enemy. Law number 2. Always say less than necessary. In a world where everyone is talking, silence is a weapon. The more you say, the more common you appear. The more you reveal, the more vulnerable you become. But when you speak less, when you choose your words with precision, people begin to project power onto you. Think about this. When someone asks you a difficult question and you respond with silence or a calm, short answer, what happens? The other person becomes nervous. They start filling the silence. They start giving you information you never even asked for. Silence makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability is power. Henry Kissinger, one of America's most powerful diplomats, was a master of this law. He would ask a question in the meeting, then simply go silent and wait. The other party would get uncomfortable and reveal their entire strategy just to fill the quiet. The man who speaks less controls more. In your next negotiation, your next argument, your next job interview, say less. Pause more. Watch how the dynamic shifts in your favor. Silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Law number 3. Conceal your intentions. Never let people know what you're really after. Most people make a critical mistake. They talk about their plans, their goals, their ambitions openly. They think transparency builds trust. It doesn't. It builds targets. When people know your intentions, they can block you, they can prepare against you, they can sabotage you before you even begin. But when you keep your true goals hidden, when you misdirect, when you create smokescreens, you move through the world like a shadow. No one can stop what they can't see coming. Otto von Bismarck, the architect of modern Germany, wanted to unify German states under Prussian dominance. But he never announced this openly. Instead, he appeared cooperative, reasonable, even weak at times. While his enemies relaxed, he was quietly positioning every piece on the board. By the time anyone realized what he was doing, it was already done. Don't announce your goals. Don't reveal your strategy until it's executed. Move in silence. Arrive in power.
Law number 4. Make other people come to you. Whoever makes the first move loses. This law is about controlling the battlefield. When you chase people, when you go to them, when you beg for meetings or attention, you are surrendering your power. But when you create a situation where they come to you, you hold all the cards. Napoleon's greatest military strategy wasn't attacking, it was luring enemies into traps. He would deliberately appear weak, retreat slightly, and make his enemies think they had the upper hand. When they charged forward confidently, he closed the trap. Never look desperate, never chase. Instead, create value that pulls people towards you. The person who is always available has no power. The person who must be sought holds all the power. Be the magnet, not the metal. Control the game by controlling who moves first. Law number 5. Crush your enemy totally. This is perhaps the most ruthless law in the entire book. When you defeat an enemy, half measures are dangerous. If you leave them standing, if you show mercy, if you allow them to recover, they will come back, and they will come back with revenge as their only motivation. Julius Caesar defeated his rivals and showed mercy. Some of those same men stabbed him on the Ides of March. This law is not about physical violence, it's about decisiveness. When you make a move, make it completely. Don't leave loose ends, don't leave enemies with room to rebuild. Finish what you start, completely. Because mercy without power is just weakness. These 5 laws: never outshine the master, say less than necessary, conceal your intentions, make others come to you, and crush your enemy totally. These are not just strategies, they are the silent rules that the powerful have always followed. You didn't learn this in school, you weren't taught this at home. But somewhere in the world right now, someone is using these laws on you. The question is, are you aware enough to see it? If this opened your eyes, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and stay with us, because we're just getting started. The real game has just begun.